Hello, my name's Tom Carhill. It's 17:12 on Monday, the 20th of March 2017. I want to do a quick video now about a subject which has cropped up in my local vicinity. Yeah, I was born in Chatham and grew up in Gillingham. I've also lived in other countries and other parts of England. However, this is the thing. Whenever I normally do videos, often they're a commentary. They're not normally a commentary about something way out there without any link to anything to me, because I do actively look into things. I make inquiries with people, I email people, I ask them questions, so it's not like I'm just talking about somebody without giving them a right to reply. I never consciously do that. The only time I might not give them a right to reply is when I don't expect them to reply. Like, I don't think the Prime Minister's going to reply or something like that. So I would, in my defence, say I wouldn't mind if he has the right to reply, but he knows I'll wipe the floor with him, so he wouldn't anyway. But the point is, it's not the same as someone like some counterintelligence operative who's pretending to run a kind of pseudo charity, and you can just phone them up and tell them about your problems, then they give you more problems and use you as a massive load of distraction. But anyway, this thing that I'm concerned about now is in some ways more practical, more hands-on, and more interesting. Probably about maybe a few years ago, I don't know when I probably first noticed it, but there's public toilets by me. These are state-run public toilets. These are council-run. They're not like in a shopping complex, so that I don't know who owns them. These are the government ones, right? And in the and they've got the Medway sign on them. Medway is kind of what they call Rochester, Chatham, Gillingham, and all those places around there. I don't know where exactly the boundary is, but it's in Kent. But they don't consider. I don't know how the jurisdiction works. But anyway, it's sort of considered a Medway now. Considered a city now. Medway is considered like a city, but it's actually towns all stuck together. Anyway, it's Medway. It's run by Medway Council, I believe. And in these toilets, you've got this graffiti on the walls in the cubicles. I think there's about 4 or 5 cubicles, and it's normally pretty stinky in there. The kind of standard, these weird metal toilets. You can't seem to go in there, and you wouldn't be able to sit down because the toilet hole is really small. They're those anti-vandal ones, and they're not very clean. And you get toilet roll in there. There's never any soap in the dispensers, that kind of stuff. It is a dirty shithole, and they should clean it down more. It's all tiles, so they could easily clean it with a hose or something. They don't. I don't know. I get the feeling they don't really want people to go in those public toilets, or the normal public. But this is the thing. For years, I used to notice there was lots of graffiti on the walls in there. But as well as that, I don't mean spray paint type of graffiti. There wasn't much of that. But there was like people writing little messages in the cubicle. And invariably it was either people just writing stupid things, but 9 out of 10 of these adverts are written by homosexuals. And unfortunately, even though they're, a very, very small amount of paedophiles according to the Jewish homosexual lobby, Jewish homosexual paedophile lobby, or the Jewish paedophile mafia, all the same thing, by the way. Always have been, always will be. Despite them assuring everybody that homosexuals aren't gays and homosexuals aren't paedophiles more often and all that stuff, and they don't get raped into it. All this absolute tosh they come out with. Lots of these signs specifically give age ranges, right? And they're underage children they want to sodomise in the toilet and offering money and stuff for them, or presents. Yeah? So you've got homosexual paedophiles or homophiles going to the toilets, putting adverts for children to go and do sodomy with them. So, illegally speaking, to go and get raped by them. And so what the police have done is they put a sign in there. And Medway Council also put a sign. So there's 2 signs, and I can actually put the signs on here. And they basically say along the lines of, there has been antisocial and illegal behaviour in these toilets. They are checked by the police and the council routinely. If you have any problems, call this number. Right, and it's a Kent police number. Right now in England, you've got 999, which would be the equivalent of 101. No, of 911. And you've got 101, which is like non-emergency things. So it's like somebody's not like putting you in immediate danger, or you can't see someone stealing stuff. You're just reporting a crime. It's basically like a kind of two-tier system. So if you're really, I mean, there's even been a top copper who said that you should just call 999 all the time because they'll just fuck you around and not get your call. And the police are a bunch of cunts in this country, let's face it, they're complete fucking scum. But this is where they've got worse. These signs, so you've got adverts for children for rape in the toilets, yeah? Homosexual, because it's a male toilet, so only boys can go in there, isn't it, and men? And then what they've done is they've gone and put this sign saying that you should call this number if you get antisocial or illegal behaviour. That's what it's saying. But what does it say underneath the number? It says it's the anti-homophobic prevention line. Do you see what's happening? Right? So, what they've done is they've got everybody to think that pedos and gays aren't the same. I'm not saying they are the same, but it's heavily linked, right? Then they've got everyone to think that anybody who thinks that gays and paedophiles are linked is like mentally completely deranged, yeah? And now they're going back and saying if you say that there's some man who's a homosexual clearly doing things to children who are, 14, 13, 12, whatever, 11, 9, you are a a homophobe, and you don't like not houses or homes. You don't like men doing obscene, disgusting, deviant acts to each other or to children, because it's all the same thing, yeah? That's what they're trying to do. Now, the MP here, I can never say his name, is called Raymond Chisty, or Chisty. This is Gillingham's MP, Gillingham and Raynham's MP, Raynham, Gillingham, yeah, you'll be able to find it. And he takes some money from the Saudi government to do some work for them on the side in England. Yeah, this is his declared income. But you see, the thing is, I don't really know too much about what happens in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, we're subjected to a lot of propaganda about it. I've never been to Saudi Arabia. I was going to go a while ago, but I didn't end up going. It's a complicated story. But anyway, the point is, I don't really know what goes on in Saudi Arabia, but I wrote to them and I said to them on Twitter, I said, are you aware that Raymond Chisty is running a paedophile conservation zone next to the Conservative Club in Gillingham, because he's a Conservative MP? I never heard anything back from him. And you see, the thing with this is, I don't know how to push it, because I've taken the pictures of this sign and I've taken the pictures of the paedophile adverts in there. But you see, I'm wondering how best to push this, because you see, this is a big thing. And what I would ask in return, or what I think you should do, if you've got public toilets nearby you, I know they're the kind of thing people normally just use in a pinch, and often you almost forget they're there because you just don't use them. But the thing is, if they're rolling this out in England, they're doing it in Australia, they're doing it in Canada. They got the Beat Project in Australia, which means that paedophile and homosexual sex, I don't even like calling it sex, sodomy, involving children and men's arseholes and things like that, and AIDS and HIV and diseases and horrific injuries and all sorts of... It's just disgusting. That's going to be allowed in public places, right? The Beat Project. It exists, it does exist, right? But it's not going to be allowed for normal people to do it. That would still be, in Australia, public fornication. But if you're a homosexual or a paedophile who identifies as gay and likes to have sex with 3-year-olds who you find by the swings, who you've sort of kidnapped from their parents, but don't say that because that's homophobic, then this is all linked. The whole thing is completely linked. It's 100% linked. You've got signs in the toilet advertising for children for sodomy. Then you've got a sign saying there has been antisocial and illegal activity in these toilets. The police and council monitor it. If you have any concerns, please call the anti-homophobic line. It's clearly to get people to phone up, say, does this dirty pufter or this gentleman's trying to chat on to some teenager. They'll go, oh, probably, oh, do you think he's gay? There'll be some kind of entrapment going on there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact this paedophile conservation line number, right? And I'm going to try and see what I can get them to say. Now, they're the police. They're not going to be very bright, yeah? But the police often do stupid things. Well, the police always do stupid things every day. It's a guarantee. They will do things that you will never even be able to see coming because they're so incredibly lacking in logic and intelligence in most cases. But I think in this instance, I can tie them up, get them to say some really stupid things. I can make some videos about it, and we can name and shame the paedophile protection conservation officers. Because you see, in England, the police don't like to give you their names and stuff. And when you find out their names, if people in Gillingham find out that their son or daughter is going around trying to frame up people because they've reported paedophile incidents, because that's what they do. This is the whole point of this. This is how it's rolled out in Australia. It's how it's rolling out here. You've got Craig Mackey, the head of the Met. He's a real boss. Links to Catherine Byrne of New South Wales Police. She's in charge of their special gay police, which are a lot further ahead than the ones in England. Now they're bringing out the gay police in England and the Shomrim, SHOMRIM, which is a special Jewish supremacy police, yeah, which aren't going to be part of the police, yet the top of the police is dealing with them. Why would he be dealing with them if they're not going to replace the police? You know, if I have a football club and I'm even going to get the police in there, would it be the head of the police who'd go down there and liaise with hiring out actual coppers? No, it wouldn't. So if I had a private security firm, you're not going to get the second or third or first chief policeman in the country to go round and be liaising with it. And he is for the gay police and the Jew police, because they're both the same thing. Because like I've said before, the Oblast flag, which is the sodomy flag, people think it's the sodomy flag, they're mistaken. It's actually the special treatment for Jews flag, which was in the Soviet autonomous Jewish Oblast in the Soviet Union, where Jews had special rights in this special zone, and it was a rainbow with white on the top and white on the bottom. That's what we've got again here. So I would like anybody who's got any information, and I don't care what country it's in, if it's in any like anglicised country or Western country, or indeed any country, it is of interest, because the tip of the spear is Australia. They're pushing case precedent there. They're trying to pull it over to England, and you know they do use case precedent from Australian cases in British cases if there's a comparison. And of course these cases are all completely fitted up. I know I'm actually quite an expert on what they're up to in Australia, and I do actually think we'll be able to stop them, because they're not the same calibre of scum in the judiciary as we've got in England. We're high calibre scum in the British judiciary. Not all of them are scum, but you know, like the bad ones. They're a lot better at covering the tracks. The ones in Australia are very, very bad at covering the tracks. Do lots of stupid things, say stupid things in public, end up having to go around deleting things after you've found them on the internet. So changing case precedent online because you found it. Why didn't you just not put it online? I mean, it's really quite stupid with them. They are really cool, but that's what we like about Aussies, is because, you know, they've used them as a tip of the spear, thinking the public there's too stupid. I don't believe the public there is as stupid as what I used to think they were, but at the same time is their elected representatives and, you know, people in the judiciary, their lawyers and that, they're not the same calibre as in England. They're all fluoridated completely, like they're not thinking on the same level as a normally functioning person, so they constantly mess up. So in some ways it's been great, because of the amount of the amount of interesting things that have come out there, and they just leave evidence lying around on the floor. The amount of things they've deleted off the internet now, they're pro paedophile movement there, absolutely incredible. Some of the stupid things they put on Twitter and stuff, I just don't know. I mean, if you're subversive, why would you put things onto the internet that make you look bad? I just don't know how. And it's quite incredible. And they do silly things like block you on Twitter and stuff like that. Well, why don't they sort of like try and do something to sort of make themselves look better? They don't. They just, everything, it's all about fear. They're afraid of getting caught, but they're putting things on the internet that means they're going to get caught. It's like, it's completely, it doesn't really make sense to me. Anyway, so practicality, if you can have a look, if there's any toilets near you, any of these signs, take some pictures of them, upload them. I'm going to upload some of these pictures on this video, but this is a work in progress. This is not, they're not going to be able to get away with this paedophile conservation road paedophile conservation zone down the road from me. Also, bizarrely, about 3 weeks ago, someone said there'd been a rape down there, like of a woman, near there, in Sappers Walk, because it's called Sappers Walk, and it's near the W.H. Smith, which is a post office in Gillingham High Street. But yeah, there was something going on there. It could be linked. Could be linked, because you see that... I don't know anything about it, but do you know what I mean? If it's a woman getting raped by a man, or allegedly getting raped by a man, that gives the gays a bit of cover, possibly. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked into it, but I know there was one very recently. So you might actually see some news articles, and you'll see it. It's called Sappers Walk, and it's in Gillingham High Street. Okay, thanks. My name's Tom Carhill. It's 7:28 on Monday, the 20th of March, 2017. Please let me know what you think, and let me know if you've got any of these, any of this evidence to support that this will be a nationwide thing. Because it's copying off Australia. They're not going to just copy it and put it in Gillingham. No, I don't think they're going to do that. They're going to do it everywhere. So any help will be very much appreciated. Thanks very much. Bye now.